Hey everybody, we're back. Welcome to Van Shouting alongside Dan Petru and Zach Fogelman. I am the old Fogelman. Michael Barkin, super close. Should be here next week dealing with some stuff. He wants us to send everyone his regards and that he appreciates everyone's comments. We got a lot of people asking, when we were coming back. We got a lot more people asking why we're coming back, but we're back, so deal with it. Guys, how you been?
Well, I think you would know how Zach is since you guys are in the same house.
But it's separate rooms and stuff like that.
I'm trying my best.
He's a teenager, so he likes his space. So, Zach, how you been? How you doing in school? You good?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. Almost done.
Where are you going to college?
That's a great question.
Right,
Where are you going to college?
Well, we just toured Southern last week, me and my mom.
It's a very fine school.
And then we got Central and UConn on the tour list soon.
I suggested Alaska Anchorage. Personally, we can always FaceTime. That's totally fine.
What about Shed University? Right back out there.
Shed University, yeah, absolutely. I can get you a what's called scholarship from there. But let's talk a little sports now. Thankfully, the NHL regular season is over today. The Flames finally put the Canucks out of their misery. And Jim Betting will probably still have a job, but it looks like the Sedin twins are probably going to get some sort of job in the front office and probably get fired next year. We'll get a 10-year contract extension, but more importantly, we're getting some really cool playoff games underway right now.
Yeah, we are. It's been a really good start to the first round. Some really exciting games, really close. For the most part, all the games have been super competitive. Low key, like Minnesota and Vegas has been a great series so far. There's some definite animosity between the Blues and the Avs. I'm looking forward to seeing the Jets, even though they're shorthanded against the Oilers tonight. We're getting what we expected out east with the Capitals and Bruins. It's just been a dogfight. The Islanders Penguins has been really good through 2 games, extremely physical. And then you have my favorite series. Who would have thought? The Battle of the Sunshine State. I've wanted to see this for years, but the Panthers and Lightning has been much watched TV, and boy, do they hate each other. It's fantastic.
You know who's been pretty good in that series too? Former Sound Tiger Carter Verhaeghe.
That's right. He and Bridgeport Islander. That's a whole other story.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing how people have counted out the Lightning. A lot of people don't have them, even making the Stanley Cup final. They get Kucherov back, which totally. I mean, it's completely legal. But how they manipulated the cap, put him on long-term IR, make moves at the deadline, and then bring him back because there's no cap in the postseason.
Well, they're going to manipulate anything. Those are the rules.
It's legal. It's totally it's legal. Joe Quenneville, said that's totally fine. You know why? Because he did that like 6 years ago with Patrick Kane. So
that's right.
He can't say anything. He has to keep his mouth shut. But I mean, I think that series, as fun as it is, it's going to be a short series. Panthers might win 1 game.
They'll probably go to 5.
Yeah,
Panthers are really good, though.
They're good, but
really good.
They're not in the same. I know they finished higher than the Lightning. They're not in the same class.
Yeah, I think this is where you're really missing Aaron Ekblad.
Oh, absolutely.
No, but also you have to look at the Lightning. They're in like the Vegas, Colorado. That's tier 1. You got those 3 in tier 1.
Right. I mean, they're above them. I mean, they're the champs. Until someone beats the champs, they're still the best. Another series that is going to start tonight actually is Connor McDavid's back in the playoffs.
Can't wait for that series.
Yeah, so let's see. He won the Art Ross Trophy today. It's kind of funny how playoffs going on. He won the Art Ross today.
Art Ross, yeah, you're like Art Ross.
Art Ross. It's been a while since they kicked you out, but I'll give you that warning right there. Okay. Ooh, exactly. He's going to win the Hart. I mean, that's without question. Probably one of the
unanimous. It's not going to be. I can guarantee you the Hart won't be unanimous.
Why?
It usually isn't unanimous, but he will win it.
Yeah,
I know he'll win it, but I'm sure Draisaitl or maybe Matthews will get a vote.
Matthews possibly, who won the Rocket Richard. He's the first American to do that.
Wow,
which is really
cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Vasilevsky could get a vote for the Hart too.
Maybe. I mean, I think Vasilevsky will probably win the.
He's won the business. I feel like the awards have already been settled. So
yeah. I think Varlamov will probably finish 3rd. As well as Phil Grubauer probably in there, and Fleury.
Hedman's already won the Norris, even though you probably should give it to Adam Fox.
Yeah, exactly. But let's talk Rangers a little quick. You know, because Islander fans talking Rangers.
It's fun, yeah.
Exactly. It's kind of like the Seinfeld episode where George became Elaine and Elaine became George, and Jerry had one friend here and one friend there. Well, Charles Dolan has the Knicks now, who are up here, and the Rangers, who usually are higher than the Knicks, are way down here. He finally realized I can't have.
They're not that far down though. They're not bad.
But why clear house?
Oh yeah, they have issues.
This year at the Rangers, it's like a 30 for 30 with all the stuff that went down. We forget about the D'Angelo stuff. Keandre Miller way back in preseason.
Well, D'Angelo got into a fight with Georgiev in the hallway.
Yeah, exactly. And all his rhetoric gone.
The racist remarks, right? Yeah, Keandre Miller's chat room.
Right. The whole coaching staff got COVID.
Yep.
So, I mean, Chris Kreider was hurt. All the other issues. And we talk about the Tom Wilson stuff. Issuing that statement. Wilson. We haven't had a show to talk about Wilson, but that's in the past. He's a piece of shit. We'll move on.
We'll do something before next week's show.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well,
a whole show just together, just a Tom Wilson show.
Yeah,
no, I don't want to know. Baltimore.
Yeah, but I mean, James Dolan. I mean, he's so much of a better owner when he doesn't meddle. And look at the Knicks now. Has he meddled this year? No, he's got a great coach. Julius Randle came out of nowhere, and they're in the playoffs. Congrats to the Knicks. Right. The Rangers, who were building, they were right there this year. I mean, I'm happy they're not, but I mean, they have so many great pieces there. They got the first round, they got Lafreniere, who, okay,
he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
They had a Hart Trophy finalist from last year.
Like Panarin. We didn't mention Panarin's issues this year.
Right, yeah, he had to go into hiding.
Exactly. I mean, we've kind of buried the lead there. Capital. Okay, I think he's getting there. Defense. Adam Fox should win the Norris this year. They got two good Russian goalies. And Keith Kincaid is another good goalie. He came out really nowhere.
He's on the Rangers?
Yes, I'm talking Rangers. I'm actually.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm kind of the hype man of the Rangers right now.
They're probably one center and two defensemen away from being really good. They have to rebuild their bottom six a little bit but they're close. That's the thing. They're close. The pieces are there, and this is a complete overreaction. Yeah. Complete overreaction by James Dolan. Yeah. And one of my friends, he was always saying, skill. You need skill. You need skill. Yes, you do. The Islanders need skill, but you also need. And sandpaper and grit is overrated. And it's funny because he started watching all these first round matchups, and he actually said the Rangers need to get a little bit tougher. Because if this Ranger team went into the playoffs right now, they would have been rickrolled. They would have been completely steamrolled out of the building. And so they need to rebuild their bottom six a little bit, get them a little tougher and a little quicker. They really miss Jesper Fast. I mean, I don't understand how they couldn't resign him for $2 million. But they need to get a little bit down there. They need another center. They're desperately missing a center. And they need one or two defensemen, but they're not that far away. Everything was going according to plan. They were competitive until the last week of the season, going against teams significantly better than them, just matched up better than them. And they hung in there till the end, but then Dolan gets mad because the front office won't back him up after the Tom Wilson thing, and I think he just cleans house. Yeah. It's a bad look. It's a really bad look.
Yeah. And to answer your question, Carol, I would not be surprised to see Torts back.
That's a terrible decision.
I know. If James Dolan is meddling, if this isn't Chris Drury,
right,
officially doing it on his own, today they hired Mike Greer, which is I think is a very solid move. So if he's just letting Chris Drury, drive the car, we won't see Torts. If it's James Dolan, I would not be surprised. I know they already interviewed Gerard Gallant, which I think is
Gallant will be perfect. There you go. Just go with that.
Aren't they going to interview an Islanders assistant?
Yeah, one of these years, Lane Lambert's going to get a job.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm glad he hasn't gotten one yet, but it's going to happen at some point.
I want him to, but I don't want him to because he's a really good assistant. I want to keep that.
You want Torts back with those young kids and that young team? You want Adam Fox blocking shots in a 5-0 game? Of course you don't.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible, but we'll see what happens. It's still a long way, to the off season. But the Rangers,
as an Islander fan, though, I'm thoroughly enjoying James Dolan being involved with this hockey team.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It's great. It's great. The fact that the Islanders clean their house. It's great. But they do have a 1% chance at the lottery. So I would not be surprised to see, the ball come in their favor.
Owen Power. There's that defenseman that they need right there.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's obviously that would be great for them, but 1%. I can't see that happening.
Go get Luke Hughes.
Yeah. Yeah, but let's mention the other team in New York. The Islanders who got the split, and it's always good to get this get the first game. Splits are weird because you're happy when you get the first game, but when you go back to for game 3, you're pissed because you lost game 2. So it's weird. They were right in game 2. I mean, Varlamov had a couple really bad bad plays in the first 3 minutes of the game, and it was over. But he was the best Islander after that. First line has to get going. Leo Komarov cannot be the best Islander on that first line. No. I don't have to say that Oliver Wahlstrom has to stay out of the box, but it's good that he's showing a little grit. And the fourth line's the fourth line. We need a little more out of Pulak. I think it's been a little bit visible pretty much this whole year. But what do you think, guys?
Well, not that this line was bad yesterday because they were the on top of everything in game 1. The Palmieri, Beauvillier, Pajot line. I thought they could have been a little bit better last night. I mean, I wasn't watching the whole game. I saw the bottom part. Gotta love that homework. But I was watching the third period, and the third period, I didn't love what I saw from that line.
I think you have a pretty even series right now. I think after game 1, if you're the Penguins, you're like, okay, we played pretty well. We made a couple mistakes, and our goaltending wasn't great. And then if you look after game 2, the Islanders are like, okay, we played pretty well. We made a couple of mistakes, and our goaltending wasn't great. So I think both teams going into game 3 probably feel pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, and the Islanders clearly have the advantage of goaltending. Casey DeSmith's not a good goaltender.
Jarry? Yeah, Casey Smith hasn't played yet.
You're right. He hasn't played yet. Even he made the trip. Christian Jarry is not a good goaltender either. No. And they're kicking themselves for getting rid of Matt Murray, who also wasn't that great. They're probably really kicking themselves for not keeping
Fleury,
the Flower, but that's another story on Mark Country Fleury. But speaking of the Wild and not the Minnesota Wild, let's look at Mark Scheifele, who was having his first game today. He has 2 pet goats, right? Named after 2 goats, greatest of all time, and Tom Brady, Tiger Woods. What's that?
I was close. I didn't know. Who did I say before? I said Jordan and some boxer. I was close.
You were close. You were close. Now, if you guys had to name your 2 pet goats after goats, who would they be?
Go ahead. You can go first, Zach.
Oh, man.
And chat, you can comment too. I want to hear your comments as well.
Oh, I would love to hear Joey's.
Yeah.
No.
Are they both male goats? Are they female goats?
Yeah. Is it one male, one female, or is it like
you go to the farm and pick one out? Whatever you want. I don't know.
All right.
That's a good question. There's so many good options to choose from.
All right. Well, give me a couple. Wow.
You know what? I'm gonna get criticism from this, and I'm gonna stand by it right now. I'm gonna say Connor McDavid as one of them.
No, well, there's no criticism. He's the best hockey player I've ever seen in my life.
I'm saying Connor McDavid as one. I don't care what people say. Connor McDavid is the most talented hockey player that I've ever seen. Connor McDavid is amazing. So Connor McDavid is definitely gonna be one of mine.
Okay.
I think MJ's good. That's a good girls. That's good for a girl. I like that. Jordan would be nice too.
Yeah.
I think Serena. Yeah, I was actually thinking Serena. So yeah, let's go Serena for 1, and let's go with actually, Gordy would be good. Gordy sounds like a good goat name, right? We'll go Gordy, as in Gordie Howe.
Yeah.
So we'll go Gordy and Serena.
You know what? All right, we're gonna go Peyton and Connor.
Okay, and Peyton works for a girl too.
Yeah, Connor does. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, that's good. I think that works.
Dan and Noel. I love this too.
Perfect.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm more of a jackass than a goat, but that's another. Fair. Yeah, and I'm waiting for Joey to say Tyler Wade. Come on, Joey.
Tyler Wade and Scotty Miller. There you go, right there.
Yeah, I agree, Alicia. Gordy. I like Gordy. It just sounds like a good name.
Right. I think I would go. I'll go Bossy.
I was thinking Bossy too. That's a cute name.
Yeah, and I can't go Don because that's just a weird one.
Don
Mattingly. I can't do Mattingly. That sounds a little weird.
Yeah.
So Melky? I don't know.
Melky. Yeah, the Melky.
Boban.
Yeah,
Boban the goat.
Yeah. So I mean, if I would probably have to say Freeman for Free McNeil. There you go.
Or Freddie Freeman.
Former Freddie Freeman, former Jet running back. But
Freddie's a good name, too.
Yeah, Freddie. Carlo Waddington Frazier. All right, now we're really getting off the track here.
Yeah, it's not 916. Yeah, way to throw that in there.
Probably the only Yankee fan to have those two right there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, but on to baseball a little bit. And this season's been weird because we're only in May, and there have been 5 no-hitters.
Right.
And no-hitters are cool. I think they're a little bit overrated depending on how the stat line goes. I remember A.J. Burnett had like 9 walks in a –
But most of the stat lines this year have been pretty good in those no-hitters.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, and John Means, this is probably the most fascinating no-hitter in history. He allowed the runner to get on first base as a result of a pass ball on a strikeout.
Right.
That rule is ridiculous. It's another stupid baseball rule. It's written. We'll get into unwritten.
We're going to discuss.
Well, we'll discuss the unwritten rules in a little bit, but you have to throw it to first, and that's bullshit. But he got the no-hitter. Should have got the his perfect game. But the Mariners were no-hit twice this year, so way to go, Mariners.
And they're not that bad.
No, it's just weird. Do you guys find no-hitters to be kind of boring now?
I think they're cool because I haven't been as big of a baseball fan as you guys have for a long time, but I think they're kind of cool to see.
I'm not.
Yeah. Bumgarner didn't Bumgarner have like an?
It didn't count because it was only 7
innings, and I don't think they're really officially counting that. I don't know how that's working.
They're not accounting. They did not officially.
Which is ridiculous because if those games are 7 innings, it should be counted.
Exactly.
So dumb.
I agree with you as well.
But that's
no hitters are still cool, but like no one tries to make contact anymore. It's like it's either a walk, a strikeout, or a home run in baseball. So it's like I don't feel like they're as impressive as they used to be. Because back in the day, you used to have guys that had 400 something on base and hit 350 and didn't strike out as much. So I feel like maybe they're just not as impressive as they are now. They're still cool. They're still tough to do. But with the way that the game is constructed now and shifts and guys playing short right field and short left field, I'm not nearly as impressed with them as I used to be. Perfect games are still amazing. But, no hitters, once again, still cool, but maybe I'm a little over it.
Yeah,
baseball in general, I'm kind of a little over. It's just fucking boring.
Yeah, this is a fascinating stat. In April, there were 1,092 more strikeouts than hits.
Yeah, no one tries to make contact anymore.
That's the most gap in any month in any Major League Baseball history.
Right.
It's boring. You watch the Yankees. You see Judge striking out every at bat. You see all of them. Batting averages they don't even count anymore.
270s don't win a batting title.
It's ridiculous. I'm the one who likes to see offense in baseball, but a good pitching goal is great too.
Sure.
But there are certain teams that you look at the Angels, who have probably the best player in baseball right now on both sides of the plate in Ohtani, but that team stinks.
Yeah, they have 3 good players. That's it.
Rondon now. Trout's hurt, but Ohtani. It's like, and this team's last because they can't pitch. That's like the one team that can't pitch this year. It has all those great players, and it's just Spencer Turnbull led the AL in losses 2 years ago, and he's pitching hitter. Nothing against him. Glad he turned it around. But
his numbers were great last night.
Yeah, if I asked anybody on the street, can you name one pitcher that pitched a no-hitter this year? You'd say, Jacob deGrom probably did. Maybe Blake Snell.
I would have got Means. That's the one I would have gotten.
Maybe Cole. I would not have gotten any of these guys. Not one.
Joey brings up that the Angels are wasting Trout's career, but he chose to resign there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't feel bad for anyone like that. I don't feel bad for McDavid.
We chose to resign there.
These guys stay. It's but the thing is, like, they've added pieces to that team. They have a really good manager in Joe Madden. I don't understand what the problem is there. It's a shame, but you mentioned Trout, and Trout's going to be out for a while now. Which is unfortunate. I wish him well. Like I said, I don't feel bad for him, but he's one of the best players I've ever seen. And I remember working at the MLB Network, doing the MLB draft. And the first year, only one player attended the draft.
It was Mike Trout, right?
It was Mike Trout. And you know why? Because the draft was in Secaucus, and he's from Jersey. So
he got drafted.
What's that?
Were you doing the draft when he got drafted?
Yeah, I did the draft. I'm like, that's kind of cool. He's there. to take pictures. And he's obviously far and away the best player ever.
Look who he turned out to be.
Yeah.
He's great, but I don't think he wants to be the face of baseball. When it's his job, unfortunately for him, he has to be the face of baseball, and he doesn't want that role. Whereas someone like Fernando Tatis Jr. lives in that role and wants to be that role. I wish Trout wanted to be the man more. It's no knock on him on the field. On the field, he's maybe the best player since Mickey Mantle. I mean, that's really who he kind of reminds, stats-wise, what he kind of looks like and resembles. Well, he doesn't run much anymore, but off the field, it just doesn't seem like he wants to be the face of the game. He doesn't want, you look at his popularity, like to the casual fan, you might know who Mike Trout is, but he can walk down the street in most places and not get bothered at all.
Besides Trout, there's like maybe 5 players that the MLB would want to be the face of the league. That's not Trout.
They don't do a great job marketing either. Let's be honest. No. Not as bad as the NHL, but not good.
Right, but if you look at the big 4 sports, everyone knows LeBron, right? Let's say LeBron's the best player. Okay, everyone knows LeBron. Football, there's a ton of guys.
Everyone knows Patrick Mahomes.
Everyone knows Mahomes. In every commercial now, you have Aaron Rodgers. Everyone commercial. Peyton. Hockey, Connor McDavid. No one knows Connor McDavid.
No.
Oh, Sidney Crosby. You know who Crosby is.
Crosby and Ovechkin, some of the older guys, sure, probably.
Maybe.
You know who Curry is for basketball. You know Curry, LeBron, Durant. There you go.
But then baseball, Mike Trout. You may get a couple people. More people would know Aaron Judge because of his stats.
More people would know Mookie Betts.
Yeah, that right. Yeah.
Honestly, I would say no. I don't think.
No, I think Mookie Betts is more the face of baseball than Mike Trout is.
Yeah, Mookie Betts is definitely one of the more.
Yeah. I think he's younger. He appeals to a younger generation now because Trout's almost 30, and like you said, he doesn't want that role anymore.
Betts is like 28, 29.
He's like 29. I
don't know. Maybe he plays.
It's like you and me comparing ages. You're like a year older than me.
He plays younger, but no, but he's like he's one of the best players in baseball. But
Ronald
Acuna's another one, but
Soto. There's some great young players.
There's some great young guys, but I mean, and like you said, the league does horrible job marketing these players as well, and that has to change. But commissioners, whatever.
But there's going to be a massive strike next year, so who cares?
Let's hope. Yeah,
Darren O'Day.
But speaking of one of the best players in baseball, we kind of touched on him before. It's Showtime in Anaheim. I mean, this guy is doing things that we've never seen before. And if you look at the ticker, some of these stats are just mind-boggling. He's leading the league in home runs. He's the best pitcher. I mean, you're having a position player on the mound, right? But
yeah,
it's crazy. He's a reason why to watch baseball. This guy,
absolutely, and it just sucks that he's there. It just sucks he's on the Angels. And they keep trying to get better. It's just whatever they do, it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
but he's must watch TV, and I hope he stays healthy because you just don't see this combination of skill, offensively and pitching at the same time, and it's just an absolute joy to watch.
Right, I remember when he was a rookie, and because baseball now and football and basketball follow hockey with the 3 finalists for their awards. So for when he was rookie of the year, the nominees were Gleyber Torres and Miguel Andujar.
Yep.
And I think Zach's wearing a Miguel Andujar t-shirt.
I am right now. Yeah, it's under this.
I felt that Miguel Andujar, his numbers were great. He should have been the.
No, it should have been Gleyber.
And then you look at Ohtani. He was like, because of this novelty, he was hurt. Numbers weren't great. I'm totally changing my opinion because what he was doing then was fascinating, and I just didn't appreciate it then.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you totally get what he's doing.
Yep.
I was just about to ask you right now. That's funny you said that. If you can go back in time, would you take Ohtani's award away? I was literally just about to ask you that. Is he still that rookie of the year?
Yeah, because I mean, there are guys who put up big numbers like Andujar did, and Gleyber's numbers are great as well. But what Ohtani was doing was just fascinating that year.
Yeah.
Plus the Yankees always get screwed with awards. So that's not beside the point. But yeah, I mean, speaking of unwritten rules in baseball, Tony La Russa, who is like an old man who, the whole meme with Grandpa Simpson, Abe Simpson, old man yells at cloud. That's pretty much him because the other night they were destroying the Minnesota Twins. And the Twins kind of, gave the white flag, pretty much, and put a position player on the mound. And naturally, their catcher, Yermin Mercedes, basically hit a home run on a 3-0 pitch. I had no problem with that.
Yeah.
No problem with that. Apparently, the Twins, at the point, maybe they did because they ended up throwing at him the next day. But Mercedes' manager had a huge problem because he's old school and there's an unwritten rule that, hey, you can't swing on a 3-0 pitch. And when the position player on the mound,
you can't swing at a 3-0 pitch when you have a big lead.
Right.
We want baseball to get more entertaining and we want it to be more fun. Yet the people who play it want to suck all the fun out of the game.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
If you put a position player up there, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Who cares? And then La Russa should be more concerned about real laws, like how the extra innings work, how many drinks you should have before you operate a vehicle, things of that nature.
Yeah,
and
it's unofficial.
And he shouldn't worry about shit like that. I don't know how Chicago is doing what they're doing. I don't think it's because of him. They're just a really good team. But I just wish it's like with so much in this game trying to move forward, they make this hire of a guy who's pretty much, in many people's opinions, who he's been manager for, a bit of a racist and a bit of a drunk, problems with the law. Yeah, he keeps getting all these second chances. I don't think you need Tony La Russa in baseball in 2021. And if he's a manager, if you think he's one of the best 30 managers in this game, then there's something wrong with the game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And when you have other pitchers tweeting, and basically backing up the batter,
yeah,
then La Russa's in the wrong. You had Trevor Bauer, the one with Cy Young.
But players on his own team, like Lance Lynn.
Absolutely.
Right.
And there were other guys, and Tim Anderson, who's he's super fun to watch. He's like the leader of that team. Basically tweeting out, "We got your back." Mercedes. Absolutely. But yes,
for it.
Yeah. The Twins, and rightfully so. I can see their point because they got a little pissed off, so that they threw behind Mercedes. I think they may have nicked them on the back a little bit, but that's also an unwritten rule in baseball because you have to throw out a batter when something goes wrong your way. But you know what? These are professional players. You know what? They make a ton of money. Who cares if they run up the score?
Do it.
Who cares? Baseball is the only sport. There's no time limit.
Right.
You can come back in baseball.
We know from working on it.
We know. Those West Coast games are the worst. But no time limit. You can't run out the clock in baseball. You still have to pitch. You still have to swing. I mean, these guys want to make money. It's arbitration. The free agency. Every hit, every at bat counts. I mean, these guys are overpaid anyway. But this is their livelihood, and they deserve to play. Don't
aren't overpaid though. That's another part of the problem with the game. Like Aaron Judge makes $800,000 a year.
Well, that's going to change soon.
Well, not after a long lockout.
Well, it'll change. I mean,
That's ridiculous. It's like the players don't have control over their the team can suppress a player for as long as they can, not start the clock, and then basically not pay them during their prime years, and then not want to sign them to long-term deals when they finally are eligible for free agency.
Look at Ronald Acuna for money-wise. He's making $12.5 million for the next 7 years, 6 years.
I know.
That's great.
I mean, you have to look at it. When a team offers you that much money, it's like, do I take it now?
That's why the Tatis deal is great for Tatis.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it. I mean, it's an overpay now, but it's going to be a bargain. It's going to be great. Yeah. You look at. I'm going to date myself, but Evan Longoria, when he was on the Rays, he had maybe 2 at bats when he came up. They immediately, and the Rays never signed their players. They always traded him because they immediately signed this guy to a 6-year, $100 million contract. Because they knew they had this guy, they wanted to keep him. They didn't have to do that in typical Rays fashion. 6 years basically is arbitration, and they have his rights until he walks in free agency. So they ate all those years. So
they might lose Tyler Glasnow if they don't want to re-sign him.
Oh, they're going to lose him totally.
They'll trade him. No, they'll trade him before.
But the good thing about that team, not so much in the Yankee division, but they always get great people in return. They get great prospects. They develop, and then they trade them again. It's an endless cycle.
They better get rid of Austin Meadows. We don't like Austin Meadows. Yeah, screw Austin Meadows.
Yeah, but
Austin Meadows sucks.
Austin Meadows sucks. He does. But I'm curious to see how much Judge is making $10 million right now.
Oh, okay. That must have kicked in this year then.
Wait, can you look up one thing? Can you see what Manny Machado's making?
Oh, he's
It's
making
like 30 something.
Yeah.
30 something.
yeah.
Yeah. Or 27, high 20s or low 30s.
Aren't him and Bryce Harper getting like $30-something million a year?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so let's.
Crazy.
Yeah, something currently going on right now in sports. It's probably going to get better ratings than anything in the NHL. Is this one game? Is a playing game between LeBron and Curry. I think this is ridiculous that he's still doing this act. So fill everyone in why they're still doing play-ins.
I mean, quite frankly, I understand it last year. I don't really see the purpose of it this year. If you are the 7 seed, you earn the 7 seed. But pretty much it's the 7 seed versus the 8 seed, and the winner of that will get the 7 seed. And then it's the 9 versus 10 seed, and the winner of that will play the loser of 7 and 8 for the 8 seed. It's just a way to get more teams in the playoffs, so NBA to make more money. That's literally all it is. The best part is that arguably, as of right now, we're watching the most exciting player in basketball, Steph Curry. So, I mean, you'll have Steph Curry versus LeBron, which, I mean, I can guarantee the ratings will be fantastic for that tonight. But that should be a fun game, and hopefully the Warriors win that game, and you will see why Steph Curry deserves the MVP trophy.
It's funny, like LeBron was criticizing the fact that they had playing games this year,
and he's in the playing game
because he's in the playing game because he knew that there was a chance. Last year he was for it because they were in the bubble, and of course,
also I get why he said it last year because it made sense last year.
Yeah, I mean, the NHL had a similar thing with getting more teams play. Well, which is fine. Baseball had the expanded postseason. That was fine. There's no reason for that because half the teams in the end, I shouldn't say half the teams, but like when you look at 6 through 8 in both leagues, mainly, I guess the Eastern Conference, they're always under 500. You always have teams under 500. So I think they should just scrap it and go for 1 through 16. You get the 16 best teams in basketball and do it that way. But that's never going to happen. But that's just my personal.
I mean, the 7 seed in the West is 42 and 30.
Yeah, well, the West is always better than the East.
Yeah, the Warriors were 38 and 33 or 39 and 33, whatever they were.
Yeah, but it's one of those teams. It's like a Sophie's choice in the NBA. Do you want to see LeBron in a series? Or do you want to see Curry in a series?
Yeah,
you know.
And guess what? You get Anthony Davis too.
Yeah, ooh, it's exciting. All right, guys, but this was fun. A little short show. We'll try to do trivia next week.
Yeah,
we'll try to bring that back. Thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook.
What is it? The road to 150 on YouTube now?
I haven't checked. Hopefully
134.
134. Okay.
Let's get to 150 people. Please subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see you next week, guys.